Hey, Patriots, we've got some major breaking news coming out of Colorado right now. Under President Trump's leadership, just 3 months into his administration, federal agencies have taken down a massive cartel operation right here on American soil. Guys, this is exactly why leadership matters so much and why America is already safer and stronger today than it was just a few short months ago. Let's get into it. First, I want you to hear exactly what Attorney General Pam Bondi just revealed live on Fox and Friends. Let's roll the clip.
Thank you.
Tell us what you were thinking about when we were watching that video seconds ago.
America is safer tonight thanks to Donald Trump. Last night, Brian, what they did, so to back up, during the Biden administration, they received 170 911 calls to that club alone. That club we were just watching, 170 calls. Wouldn't you think that would have been a red flag?
Wouldn't.
Nothing happened. Guns, shootings, ag batteries, nothing happened. So under Donald Trump, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, ATF, ICE, everyone went in together. DEA led this investigation. Went in, got 115 illegal immigrants, aliens in our country, arrested them, 2 with warrants, 12 guns seized. So what would happen in this club is you would go in, security would give you a menu of drugs. Cocaine, there's something new called pink cocaine, meth, you could go in a bathroom stall, get that, there was prostitution, all these things going on, and we just now identified a member of Sinaloa cartel was also in there.
So that's really interesting because it's not a sanctuary city, right?
No.
Denver is, but Colorado Springs isn't. You look at this for the longest time. What is the downside of raiding that club during the Biden years? Like, what's the negative side of it? Do you prefer illegal drug use and illegal aliens?
And prostitution and the violence and the shootings and the guns that was happening in that club, and no one did anything after 170 911 calls. Yet President Trump immediately, that was a really dangerous operation too, and that's why there were 300 agents all working hand in hand, and that's what Donald Trump has done so well. All of our agencies work so well together. Went in there, got these bad guys out, 115 arrests, 12 guns off the streets, lots of drugs off the streets now, less prostitution as a result of it.
It's so interesting. I know Kellyanne Conway did a great job focusing on fentanyl when it started emerging as the plague that's killed our country and so many young people in the first term. But you guys have really amped it up working with border security. In terms of fentanyl, taking it off the streets, do you have a number there?
Yeah, Brian, when I was state AG, I actually worked with Kellyanne when she was in the White House on this because the fentanyl was just emerging on the market. And yes, now since Donald Trump has been in office, DEA has seized over 21 million fentanyl pills. That's 21 million lives saved, in my opinion, off the streets.
No doubt about it. We also know, too, at the cusp of all the tariffs is getting China to stop sending the precursors to Mexico. If China would actually act responsibly, that would help your job a lot. It wouldn't even get to you, hopefully. So let's talk about what's going on with these judges. The sensational video last week of having to arrest a judge, and now we have another judge reportedly in Wisconsin boycotting their courtroom or threatening to unless this judge is released. Tell me about this.
Sure. Well, the judge, her last name is Dugan. She is in Milwaukee, and what she did to set the stage for that, there was a domestic violence case pending. This defendant was charged with pummeling a man in the face 30 times. That's like an MMA fight. He fell to the ground. He had strangled him. Then he punched a woman with a closed fist so hard in the face that she fell to the ground. Both victims went to the hospital. Domestic violence cases, it's hard enough to get a victim to cooperate. Both victims were sitting in that courtroom wanting justice with a state prosecutor. Court goes on. All of a sudden, the case isn't on the docket. Defendant's nowhere to be found. They found out that the judge learned that ICE was outside because he was an illegal alien from Mexico to arrest him, to deport him. She found that out. She raised her voice with the ICE, told them to go see the chief judge, came back in. While court was going on, she motioned for the defense attorney and the defendant to come up, snuck them out through a private chamber. You can't make this up. In her courtroom, snuck them out a back exit so he could run down the street. ICE ended up chasing him down the street. Someone saw him, chased him, caught him eventually. But, the reason ICE, they make arrests in courtrooms all the time is because it's safe. A defendant has gone through security. They don't have a weapon. It's an easy arrest. No one's injured. But because she did this, she jeopardized the lives of law enforcement officers, even the defendant. By doing this, they had to have a chase down a street while victims of a crime were sitting in a courtroom.
Judge in jail?
Judge got arrested. She sure did.
So David Brooks, you know him, the columnist for the New York Times, who on PBS over the weekend said that the judge acted heroic.
Well,
what do you say to that?
I say the victims of crime should be very happy today because these victims of crime, they deserve justice. This is a criminal judge sitting on a criminal bench. And anyone who's going to let any criminal defendant out a back door is absurd.
How much harder is your job in these sanctuary cities?
It's difficult, but we have Tom Homan, we have HSI, we have incredible partners working with us to get in there. And, state law enforcement, Brian, they want to do their jobs, most of them. Their hands have just been tied.
It's going to have to go right up the court ladder.
It sure is, and that's what we're doing.
Right, and busy day, especially they salute today is about border security and security in the country as you look back at 100 days. And you hope, of course, the best is yet to come.
Guys, if you're proud to have real leadership back in the White House and you believe that America's best days are still ahead, do me a big favor, guys. Hit that thumbs up like button right now so we can push the truth past the media filters. All right, this is exactly what happens when strong leadership meets action. Just 3 months, guys, 3 months into his administration, President Trump's team, the DEA, ICE, FBI, ATF, U.S. Marshals just conducted a massive raid on a cartel-controlled nightclub in Colorado Springs. Now, let's be crystal clear here, guys. This wasn't just a nightclub. This was a criminal hub. A menu of drugs right at the door. Pink cocaine, meth, guns, prostitution, cartel members hiding in plain sight. And here's the kicker, guys. This club had generated 179 emergency calls under the previous administration. Sleepy Joe. Shootings, assaults, drugs. Nothing was done. It took President Trump's leadership to finally shut it down. And the results? 115 illegal immigrants arrested. 12 guns were seized. Large amounts of drugs were confiscated, and a confirmed Sinaloa cartel member was captured inside. Guys, this is why elections matter. Under weak leadership, criminals get a free pass. Under President Trump, they get a one-way trip to jail. Now, let's talk about this. Colorado Springs isn't even a sanctuary city. This kind of criminal activity was happening in a regular American town. If this was hiding in plain sight right there, how much worse is it in the sanctuary cities that are still clinging to failed lawless policies? This raid, it wasn't just a victory. It was a warning shot to every single criminal operation in America. There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is President Donald J. Trump. But guys, that's not all. Out of Wisconsin, guys, and I know y'all heard about the story. This is crazy. Another jaw-dropping story. A sitting judge actively helped an illegal immigrant defendant escape ICE right from her courtroom. Let me break this down for you. The defendant was facing brutal domestic violence charges. He strangled a man. He knocked a woman unconscious with a closed fist punch. Both victims hospitalized. ICE was legally waiting outside the courtroom to detain him. And what did this judge do? She sneaked him out a private door away from justice, forcing ICE to literally chase him down the street. This right here is pure lawlessness. This isn't compassion. It's a betrayal of the victims. It's a betrayal of the law. And guys, it is a betrayal of the American people. But here's the difference now. Under President Trump, actions like this are being exposed and they're being punished. Law and order are making a comeback, not just in theory, in practice. And if we zoom out even bigger, this ties right back into the border crisis and fentanyl epidemic. Since President Trump retook office, the DEA has seized over 21 million fentanyl pills. Pills that would have been flooding into our communities, killing our sons and daughters if we still had an administration willing to look the other way. But President Trump is doing exactly what he promised. He's cracking down on the cartels, he's securing the border, and he's defending American families from poison, violence, and chaos. Not just words. Real action, real results. Now, guys, patriots, I got to ask you, how many more American lives would be lost if this leadership hadn't been restored? How many more cartel operations would be thriving right now if we didn't have an administration that was willing to fight back? And what are we willing to do to make sure that this momentum never stops? We got to keep this train going, guys. If you're fired up like me, guys, and if you're thankful that America is back on offense, do me a big favor, drop a comment down below, guys. I want to hear from every patriot that's standing with us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you stay plugged into the truth that the media is desperately trying to hide. And if you want to take it a step further, guys, and support the mission, consider becoming a channel member today. Every voice matters. Every action matters. Together, we're building an unstoppable movement for truth, for justice, for America. Guys, God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America. I'll catch you later with another update.